Hello everyone, welcome to I Learning Digital class. My name is Steven. I want to use this medium to appreciate those that already subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time to subscribe to my channel. And if you are watching this video now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button. Don't forget as well to hit on the notification button so that anytime I upload interesting video like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. All right, guys, it's been a while now. We've started a series on this channel, and this is the part 11 of this series. So I call it Hospital Management System. So we are using Nodejs, Expressjs, EJS, and MySQL as our database. So that is what we are trying to use to build this particular project. So if you have not yet seen the previous video, I'm going to advise you to please go and watch the previous video so that you'll be able to understand what we are trying to create, what we are trying to build. You know, as I've said, this is the part 11. So I have released, several parts, previously about this project. So just go to my channel and you'll see these various videos there relating to hospital management system. So guys, without any further ado, so the last time on this channel, what we did was that we tried to create an API whereby we can add the employee details if they want to apply for leave and the likes. We try to add them to their details to our database. So today what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be creating an appointment. If a patient, for example, wants to apply for an appointment, with a doctor online, so we want to create an API for that, so that a patient will be able to, apply for, for appointments, and the doctor they are trying to book an appointment will be able to see their details and the likes. So that's what we want to create today. So without any further ado, now let's head on into Sublime. So Sublime is our text editor. That's what I'm using anyway, so you can use any of your preferred text editor. So now we have to go inside our app.js now. So I'm just have to copy this here. So let me copy this and paste this. So what is that? Okay, let me copy this again. I will have to paste this here. Save changes, modify changes. What is this I'm getting? Okay, let me save this. Paste again. Okay. So paste this. Why am I save changes payment dots? Okay, I think that is something I want to close a. All right, this is one of the. Okay, I think that should do now since I've closed that. Okay. Yeah. So now I have to change this to appointments. Okay. I have to change this to appointments. Then we have to create a JavaScript file. So very soon. So let's call this appointments. So it's going to be inside our controller folder. So then let me come down here again. I will have to copy this and paste this here. So let's change this route to appointments. Okay. So let's change it to appointments. Then we have to change this here as well to appointments. Appointments. Okay, so that's all we need to do here. So now let's go inside our controller now and create a new file. So let's save this file. So we are going to call this appointments appointments.js. all right, so let's save. So the first thing we have to do now is that we have to we have to import some of we have to import Express, we have to import the router and the like. So because of our time, let me just come down here and copy some of the things we are going to need there. So we need all of this from here. So let me copy this and paste this here. So we need Express, we need DB, we need the body parser and the like. So let me see if there's any other thing we need. Okay, we need this. What we're trying to say here is that if there is no user, it's going to redirect them back to login. So we need to copy this from here and paste this down here. Okay, so we need to paste this down here. So if the user does not exist, so it's going to redirect them back to login. So now the next thing we have to do now is that we have to create a router. We're going to say router now dot get. Okay, so we have to pass this here. We're going to say function. Okay, we're going to say function. Then we need to pass two things as a parameter, that is request here and response. So these are the two things we need to pass here as a parameter. So then we have to say db dot get all we're going to say db.get all appointments. Okay, so we want to get all appointments first. So then we have to have this function. So we pass error here and we pass results here as well. So then we have this curly brackets. We have to say let's console.log results, console.log result. That is, we want to get all the appointments we have in our database. All right. So then we have to say res.render now. Come on. I'm gonna say res. Okay. Render. Okay. Then we have to want to render appointments .EJS, because that is where we want to display the details of the appointments we have in our database. So we have to say list, then we passed result here. All right. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to be able to add the appointment into our database. So for us to be able to do that, okay, let me break this down right here. So we're gonna say that router now. We're gonna say router.get. Then we pass this add. Okay. So we have to. The router should be add appointments. Okay. Add appointments. Okay. Then we have to function. We have write our function here. Then the next thing we have to do is that we pass our request and we pass response here as parameter. So we come down here. So we're gonna say res.render. What do we want to render this time? That is the appointment add. I'm gonna say add underscore appointments. Okay, appointments.ejs. Okay, so that is what we want to render now. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to post some of these details. Now we're gonna say router. Okay, router. Okay, post now, router.post. Then we want to come down here and say add appointment. Okay, this time we want to post inside. We want to post into our database. We're gonna say function now. We're gonna say function. Then we have request. Then we have the response here. So then the next thing we have to do that we're gonna say db now dot add underscore appointments appoints. Okay, add appointments. Then what we want to do now, we're going to say request dot body now dot body dot p name. Okay, that is the appointment name. All right, a patient name rather. That is what that P stands for. The patient name. Then which department the patient wants to book appointments with. We're going to say request dot body dot department. All right. Dot department. Then the next one we're gonna say that request now dot body. Okay, dot body dot the date now. Okay, date name. All right. So the next thing we want to do again is that's not the date name. The dates. I mean, this is the patient name. This is the department name now. This is the department and the department name, the specific department name that the patient wants to book appointment with. So now we want to do the date now. So the dates the patient wants to book the appointments. So I'm gonna say dot body dot dates. Yeah. Okay. So we want to the time. We need to get the time. Request dot body. Okay. Dot time as well. We need to do this. So the next thing we want to do the email. We want to get the email of the patient. Request dot body dot email. So the next one again is the phone number. I'm gonna say dot body. I'm gonna say dot phone. All right. So then we have to have a function here. Okay. So let me break this down. Okay, so we have to have this function here. Then we need to pass error here, and we need to pass result here as well. So then the next thing we want to do now is that once everything is saved to our database, we want to redirect. I'm gonna say response.redirect. Okay, so once everything is saved on the database, you want to redirect back to appointments. So that's all we need to do here. So the next thing we have to do now is I want to be able to edit the appointment. So that's the next thing we want to do. We want to be able to edit the appointment. So for us to be able to do that, let's just come down here. So we're gonna say that router now dot get. Then we have to pass edit underscore appointments. Okay, underscore appointments. Then we have to pass the ID here. Okay, so we have to pass ID here. Then we have our function. Okay, we have our function. Then we have requests. Then we have response. Okay, we have response. So then we have to say variable ID. We need to get the ID now. It's equals to request.params. Okay, params.id. All right. So then we are going to say db.get appointments by ID. Okay, so by ID, then we have to pass ID here. Then we have our function here. So as usual, we pass our error here. Then we need to pass result here as well. So having done that, so we have to say let's console.log result now. Console.log results. Okay, so we need to do that. Then let's come down here. We have to say res.render. Okay, what do we want to render? I want to render the edit appointments. Okay, edit appointments.ejs. Then we have our lists here. Okay, so we set it to results as well. Okay, so the next thing we have to do now, I want to post now. We have to post the edited stuff inside our database. So what I'm just going to do is that let me just come down here and copy this from here, because it's a little bit similar to what we want to do here. So okay, let me just come down and paste this. So we have to change this to edits. Okay, let me copy this from here. So we'll change this to edits appointment. Then we'll pass our ID. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to get this ID here. So let me get this ID. We'll paste this here. So the next thing we have to do now is that we have to change this DB to edit appointments. We're gonna say edit appointments. Okay, edit appointments. So then, having done that, so we have to because what we are trying to do is that we are trying to get the body for the patient name and the likes. So this will still remain the same. So this time around, where we want to redirect to is still the appointment. So that is the only thing we need to change here. This okay, this shouldn't. Let me remove this add here. This shouldn't be here. So this is all what we need to do for the for us to be able to edit the appointment. So the next thing we want to do now is I want to be able to delete any appointment from our database. So now how we're going to do that? So it's just a very simple step as well. So let's just come here and say router now get. We need to get first. So then we have to come down here and say that delete. We want to delete the appointment from anytime we want to delete the appointment from our database. So this is what we have to do. So appointments, okay, delete appointment. Then let's pass. We need to pass ID here. So the next thing we have to do is that we're going to say function now. Okay, we're going to say function. Then we pass request here, and we have our response here. So then we're going to say variable now. We need to get the ID. So very important, we need to get the ID. So we're gonna say request.params now. So let's say request.params.id. All right. So then we have to say DB. Okay. Come on. So we have to come down here. We're gonna say that DB. Okay. Dot get appointment by ID. Get appointments by ID. So we have to come down here and say that ID, we have ID here, then we have function, okay, then we have function, here we have error, and we have results. So then down here we have to say console.log results. We need to console.log results. All right. Okay, so then what do we want to render once we are able to delete? Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is that we want to say render. Then we say we have delete. We want to render the delete appointment dot EJS. All right. So then we have to come down here and say list. Then we'll set it to results here. Okay, results. All right. So the next thing we want to do now is that we want to post now. So that's the next thing we want to do. So for us to be able to do that, so let me just copy this. Let me come up here and I need to see what I can. Okay. Let me just type, because I don't think there's anything similar to what I want to do up there. So I'm gonna say router now dot post. Okay. So router dot post. Then we have delete here, delete appointment. Then don't forget we need to pass ID here. So we have our function here as well. We're gonna say function. So then we have to pass request as parameter and response. All right. So the next thing we have to do now is that we need to get the ID. Don't forget that, it's very important. So we're gonna say that's for .params.id. So once we've been able to get our ID, then we're gonna say db.delete delete appointments. Okay, delete appointments. Okay, then we have to have ID here, then we have function here as well. So then the next thing we have to do is that we have to pass error here, and we have results as a parameter. So then the next thing we have to do is that we're gonna say rest.redirect. Okay, rest.redirect. Then we have to redirect to our appointment. Once we've been able to delete from our database to our appointments. Come on, appointment dot, okay, not dot EJS there. So then the last thing we have to do is that we need to export our what's it called? We need to export our router now. Let's say module.export. So what do we want to export? We want to export the router. All right, guys. So this is what we need to do from here. So we've been able to create all the APIs. If you want to add appointments, you want to edit the appointment, and you want to delete the appointment as well. So this is all we need to do inside our controller. So what we have to do now is that we need to go inside the DB controllers. So we need to create some functions, that will undo these things for us in our database. We need to create this get all appointment by ID. We need to create the edit appointment, and we need to create this delete appointment. So let's go into our model now inside our DB controller. So that is where we have to create some of these things. So the first thing we have to create is that let's try and create the add appointment. So let me just come down here. So the first we have to do, we're going to say that module now, module.exports, okay, module.exports.add underscore, we have appointments, okay, underscore add appointment is equals to. Then we have to have function here, okay. What is happening? Add appointment, then function, okay. So we have function here, all right. So we have to pass some parameter p name. We need to pass departments, okay. So we need to pass the D name now, okay. All right. So we need to pass the dates as well. We need to pass time. We need to pass email. Don't forget that we need to pass the phone number as well. So we need to have this callback here. So all these are the things we need to pass here as a parameter. So then the next thing we want to do now, I'm going to say variable query, okay. Variable query is equals to, then we have to insert into our data inside our database. So insert into appointments. That is the table for appointments in our database. Insert into appointments. Then what do we want to insert into appointments? We need to insert okay, the patient name, okay. The patient's name, we need to insert that inside the database. We need to insert the departments, okay. The departments, then the doctor name now. The doctor name, let's say underscore name. All right, so we need to pass the date as well. We need to insert the date. We need to insert time. we need to insert email, and we need to insert the phone number inside our database. So then what is the values? Okay, we're gonna say values now. So then I have to come up with this here. So then we have to say p name. Okay, so p name. All right, then we put this plus symbol here. So we have to, what I'm just going to do is that I'm going to copy this now. So to save our time, I have to copy this, then paste this here. So we need to change this p name to department. Let's change this to departments. All right, departments. Okay, so let's come here again and put a comma and paste. So we need to change this to from department. Then the next thing we have to change to doctor name now. Okay, the doctor name. So let's paste this and change this to the dates. Okay, the dates. So the next thing again is that, let me save this. We have the time. So we need to, these are the values we need to save inside our database. The time, and the next thing again is the email. All right. Okay, the email. Okay, email. So the last thing we have to save now is the phone number. The phone number. Okay, so we have to save the phone number. So then I think that's all we need to do from here, the phone number. So I think I have to put this in. Okay, I have to close that brackets from here. So then the next thing we have to do now is we're gonna say that con now, because we need to connect these things to our database. Con.query. Okay, so we have to pass query here. So query, and we have to pass callback here as well. So that's all what we need to do. So the next thing we want to do again is that we want to, okay, we've been able to add all the appointments now inside our database. So let's try to get, we want to get all the appointments. So we're gonna say that's module.exports, okay, module.exports.get all appointments, .get all appointments. All right. So we're gonna say that it's equals to function. Okay, we have this is equals to function. Then we have only callback here as a parameter. Okay, so then we're gonna say variable now, query. Variable query is equals to, then we have select here. We want to select every items in our appointment table from appointments. Okay, from appointments. All right, so then we have to, don't forget that we have to connect to our database. We're gonna say con.query. Okay, con.query. Then we have query here. Then we have callback here as well. All right, so the next thing we have to do now is that if we want to, we've created for add appointments. So we've created for add appointments. So I'm looking at, okay, we've created for add appointment. We've been able to get all the appointments. So the next thing I want to do now, let's edit now. So what I'm just going to do is that I'm going to copy I think okay, let me copy this from here. So I'll be able to make the changes quickly. Okay, let me copy this from here and paste. So I will have to change this to edit appointments. All right, edit appointments. Okay, so I'm going to add the ID. So here I'm going to put a patient name. So I don't need the leaf type because we need to remove this. So we have to pass departments here. All right, so then the next we want to the doctor name now. Okay, so let's come down here and just say d_name. Okay, so then the next we want to pass here is the dates. Let's pass the dates. Then we need to pass time. All right, then let me delete this. Yeah, we need to pass the time. We need to pass email, and we need to pass phone number. So that's the last thing we have to do there. So now we have to come down here, update appointments this time around. So let's change that to appointments. Okay, update appointment. Then we set the patient name now. Okay, let's come down here and say patient name. All right, So then we have to change some of these things here. So we need to change this to p name. Okay, so let's say p underscore name. Then we have to change this from lib type to departments. Okay, to departments. All right, so let's change this to department as well. Departments. Okay, so then let's change this from to d name now. That is the doctor name. So we're gonna say doctor underscore name. So we change this to d. Okay, let me bring this so that we're able to see. Okay, so d underscore name. All right, so we have to change this to to dates. Then we have to come down here and say dates here. So we have to change this reason. So we have to remove this reason because we don't need it here. So we change it to email. All right, so we pass this email here as well. All right, so I think the other thing we don't have here is the phone number. So let me just copy this guy from here. Okay, so and change this to phone number. Okay, and I'll paste this here. So let's change this to phone number. Okay, phone number. So here as well we need to change this to phone number. Okay, so where the ID, let me see. Okay, where the ID, and that is correct. So that's all we need to do from there. So we are trying to edit the appointments in our database. So once we've been able to get all the appointment out from database, we can as well edit all of these appointments and save them back into our database. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to be able to delete I think that's the last thing we have to do now for us to be able to delete the appointment from our database. So we just have to say module now. So this is the last thing we have to do here. So we're going to say module.exports. Okay, module.exports. Then we have .delete. Okay, delete appointments. All right, it's equals to function. Goes to function. Okay, so it's equals to function. Then we have to pass ID here and call back as parameter. So once we're able to do that, then the next thing we have to do is that we're going to say variable now. Variable query, okay, is equals to delete. We want to delete from appointment. That is, appointment is our table in our database. We're going to say delete from appointments, okay, delete from appointments, and where ID is equals to, okay, where ID is equals to, then we have ID here. So then the last thing we have to do now is that, come on guy, okay, we have to say that con.query now, con.query dot okay, sorry, not dot, we have to pass query here, and we have to pass callback here. So guys, this is all we need to do to be able to create our appointments. So we've been able to add to our database, we've been able to delete, we'll be able to edit. So this is all what we need to do for the appointment. So guys, so the next one I'll be doing in my next video is for us to want to be able to know the number of for them to be very easy for them to take inventory of the drugs they have installed. So that's the next thing I'm going to be doing in my next video. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. So in my next video, don't forget, I'll be working on how you can how they can take an inventory of the store, the number of the number of drugs they have in their store, how they can be able to know the expiring dates for that for the drug they have and all those things. So that's what I'm going to be doing in my next video. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch my video, and don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification button as well, so that anytime I'll be uploading my next video, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So I'm still your host, I'm still your friend, I'm still your brother Stevie. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch. See you guys in my next video. Thank you.